Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us on Joy Asonye Live this beautiful evening. Today is Friday, and as some of you already know, every Friday we have the Buy Naija Hour here on Joy Asonye Live. And today we'll be focusing on faith-based organizations and non-governmental organizations as key drivers of economic development through their local, micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs. Despite the significant contributions of MSMEs to Nigeria's economy, challenges still persist that hinder the growth and development of the sector. That's what we'll be focusing on today. And my guest to do all of that is Apostle William Iheanacho Otabil, Chairman by Naija Project. Thank you so much for joining us once again.
Good evening one more time, and very big and very exhilarating privilege to be on the Joy Asonye.
You know, apart from the many English you speak, and that throws me off at times, it's always very, very wonderful to have you. And your passion for Buy Naija to grow the economy is nothing. It's literally close to nothing.
Thank you very much, Joy. And I want to say, viewers at home, it's a great privilege to be a citizen of Nigeria and of Africa at this particular trying times in the continent. I must tell you that Nigeria has a great potential, and I want to optimize that potential. The negative will disappear and the positive will come to reign in the land. So I want to encourage Nigerian youths. You are welcome to the best time to be alive in Nigeria. So Buy Naija says, be strong.
Okay, that's not all, just in case you think that was like an epilogue. We will go on a short break. When we return, we'll go to the crux of the matter, and especially what he just said, trying times in the continent. We'll be right back. Welcome back from that short break. Like I said earlier, today our focus is on FBOs and non-governmental organizations as the key drivers of economic development through MSMEs. And again, my guest is Apostle William Iheanacho Otabil, Chairman by Naija Project. Now, you talked about the trying times in the continent. I think that's a good place to start before we now take the focus to the focus.
So first, I want to celebrate the youthful population in Nigeria and Africa. We have the highest youthful population, active, intelligent, committed, resilient, who are ready for development even in the midst of negative narratives. So today I want to first of all, like many times in this season, to celebrate Nigerian youths. Nigerian youths are halo.
I'm sure they're hailing back, watching you.
I know they will hail back.
Knowing how Nigerian youth love to be recognized.
Yes, I hail, I encourage, and I celebrate all of you. You will yet prosper in this continent, even more than ever before. So we're talking about faith-based organization. I took it away from the realm of governmental operations and all the rest, and I told Joy that I want us to focus on the Nigerian youths and elders in the faith-based organizations, in the NGOs, that we have a huge potential locked up in there. So I don't want us to be misled into a narrative that expects too much from governments in Africa and Nigeria that are encumbered with so much encumbrances. So
that's one of my father's favorite words.
Encumbrances.
Yes.
So I want to say that with the youthful population we have, we need to create templates and solutions that can tap these things without complaining too much. Let's seek practical solutions. Like we discussed last week, Friday, we moved our attention to patronage and finance. as identified by government, the 7 pillars include but not limited to finance, patronage, standards, investment climate, infrastructure. But the 7 pillars I'm just naming, among others. I don't want to confuse you with all the 7 pillars. That will take us away from our
Focus.
patronage and issue of funding, and zeroing down to the faith-based organizations and the potential that they have. And I hope that the faith-based organizations and their leaders are listening. We are ready, willing, and able to assist them. One, we are not interested in your doctrine. We are not interested in your evangelization. We are not interested in your project that is a baby to your heart.
Exactly.
We are interested in Bele, hunger, no get denomination.
The stomach infrastructure.
When you call it stomach infrastructure, it might be sounding to Nigerian politics. Hunger, no get
Denomination.
you know get denomination.
Hunger,
Like I
hunger.
always tell you, permit me to speak pidgin English.
Please, by all means, go
Which
ahead.
they understand in Uganda, they understand in Kenya, they understand in Yobe, they understand it in Niger Delta. A hungry man cannot listen to you if he's hungry. I don't give him food.
Okay.
It no go work.
Right.
He can't even organize. Like our brother in Ashake said, every other day I organize. Can you organize with empty stomach?
You're a very trendy old man.
I'm a young man.
Well, in Nigeria, it depends on who you
No,
are.
I identify with
You identify as a young man.
I identify with my constituency.
You're right. Speaking about this constituency and
Yes.
talking about faith-based organizations, they focus on that tenet in the Bible that tells you to keep aside business when it comes to worship. So how would you convince the faith-based organizations to marry this and harmonize it in such a way that business does not overtake the entire tenet of why they are in the church or
The business of God is for the people of God, first of all,
exactly.
to see water to drink, eat food, have job, create wealth. But they are able to fulfill their destiny in God's purpose. A man who collapses on the road, he can't get to your church, he can't get to your mosque, he will die. So where it concerns everybody, the basic needs of life is what we are addressing.
But you do understand that creating wealth is not often. I'm not sure if in the Nigerian constitution or the registration process it will be allowed. Could that be a reason why you've not seen people throwing into
That
this
is
concept?
why we are drawing the attention of the people. If you want to tell them to pay their zakat, if you're a Muslim, or to pay tithe, or pay anything, at least they will have something to pay from. So, if a man has no job, how will you be telling him about heaven? The man is hungry. He can't feed his wife and family.
And he doesn't want to rush to heaven so soon. Let him
Right here.
He's not hungry for
The
this.
man is in hell, and you are telling him about heaven. Let's face reality. How do we create jobs? How do we create wealth? We are drawing the attention of the denominations and the faith-based organization. How do we help our people in their daily lives?
You still haven't told me quite clearly how this would be separated so that it
No,
doesn't look
there
like-
is no separation. Life is one.
Okay, I mean in the church, in the
No.
organization,
You
so
see
that
the-
one part does not oversee it. Because I can understand if you come up with
You
a
know
very
what?
good template.
Let
now.
me tell you, if you address the daily business of people within the context of their worship, Haba.
But when you address it, and let's say you come with a template that government has not thought of, and this template is working, there's a fear that it might take over worship, it might take over the whole essence.
Have you noticed that people say a bigger amen when they talk about what concerns?
I haven't noticed.
No, you don't watch TV. Okay, wait. Even as you sit here,
right,
and I'll tell you, it is well with your business. Whether you're a Muslim or a Christian or anything.
Are we screaming an amen?
You scream an amen. When I declare things that blesses your family, irrespective of your denomination, you will shout an amen.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with denomination. It has nothing to do with whether you're a Christian or a Muslim. If I do you good, I say, Madam, I perceive that you need this help. And it's in your heart. Your children are not eating. And you are blessed with something that will give your children food. Will you not thank whichever God you are worshiping? You will. It has nothing to do with religion. That's why I said, a thirsty man, if you give him water to drink, he will tell you thank you and thank whichever God is worshiping. God created that man. I don't know what you believe, but a stone did not create you. It is when hunger blows you, you will know there is a God.
And you pray to whichever God. Just
I don't care.
Food. I can understand what
and
you're
you
saying.
do not. A man comes to your cathedral, to your mosque, to every temple, anywhere you are. And you are not eating for 3 days. I say, my friend, I want to teach you how to catch fish. I'm not going to give you fish, but I'll give you fish to survive you. So I can go and fish. I'll give you a boat. The man say, he will say, Oga, thank you very much. He's a fisherman in somewhere in Sagbama. He doesn't know Jesus, but you gave him instrumentalities for fishing. He say, God, Oga, God will bless you. He will say it.
Right.
The man is in Yahweh. He's a Muslim. He's hungry. All the big boys, they pass him. They just share money to him and take off to Abuja. And you teach him how to raise some goats. You give him 2 goats, 3 goats. Give him something to raise those goats. He will say, Oga, thank you very much. God bless you. Allah bless you. God, it doesn't matter. The man is grateful to his creator. He who he knows. If he doesn't even know, he will say thank you to whichever God is worshiping. That's where we want to say, okay, these faith-based initiatives that gather people. I was passing somewhere this Friday. People went to worship and there was hold up. I saw plenty hold up in Gwarimpa. I said, oh, thank God for all these people. If you could massively, deliberately, strategically empower all these people, there will be a difference.
But they're already empowered. You just say they have.
They are not empowered. They just come.
Gridlock.
They just came to worship.
With their many cars that cause this gridlock.
The people who cause the gridlock are a minority. The masses are trekking. I saw it. And they have several needs.
Right. Okay,
this man goes to the bank. They now tell him he's a startup. The man driving the motor is a beneficiary of some contract or whatever. We are saying, how do we translate these numbers, this convergence, this cooperation, this dedication into that we can help the ordinary person producing shoe in Kano?
Okay, that's a very good one.
How do we translate this convergence to the Mama Ngozi or Mama Bimpe who is doing moi moi and akamu, who is selling amala, or he wants to open a bigger amala joint. He wants to create a bigger beauty center, seafood restaurant in Port Harcourt. He doesn't have the capital. The big banks will tell him he's a startup, no show. Like I said last week, how do the faith-based organizations structure themselves? That's why we're coming in to say, okay, we can give you a fail-safe structuring where investors' money is protected, where we converge the numbers we have in our denominations to patronage strength that will translate to funding strength. Patronage assurance leads to funding assurance. The first funding, like I said in previous presentation, is if people are assured that if they produce 40 cartons of a product, they have internal capacity
for patronage.
Some global, I want to introduce a new dimension. A global market access platform like Buy Naija can make you sell in Los Angeles, in Anchorage.
Then you're no longer a small, a micro.
No, a micro enterprise in Jiangsu in China sells to people in faraway land in Chicago through Alibaba. You don't need to leave your village. Ofada rice is produced in Ofada town in Ogun State. Ofada rice sells in Chicago. Different brands. Those people producing the Ofada rice don't have to be in Chicago.
Okay.
There are people producing let me use an example of pounded yam. Yam flour is produced by many people in Nigeria. They have never been to America, but they send products to America. I have a lady, she goes to buy off crayfish from Oron. As I'm talking, if she's listening to me, she will know I'm referring to her. They call her Madam Crayfish. She sells crayfish, clams, I don't know,
and shrimps, and
prawns, shrimps, lobsters, red snapper, the English names I remember. She has a lot of fishes she gets from Oran. She goes to other seaports to get them. This is a very educated graduate. She was working in an oil company. But when she gathers these things from those who process them, packages them, she has customers as far as Australia. She has customers in Europe, in America. Just a regular lady like you.
Who is anchoring this program?
Yeah, she's
so that others would.
She's a Buy Naija ambassador. Do you understand? Now, what we are saying is, how many of our congregation, I know she's a member of a very big congregation in Port Harcourt. So what I mentioned now, she knows
exactly.
Good.
She's the one.
There are thousands of people in that congregation, but I can assure you, I hope she's listening, that her congregation members are not patronizing her.
That is also because faith-based organizations in Nigeria have been structured to receive. So I'm not sure if there is going to be a foolproof strategy that you have that would not make them give out. Maybe that is why it remains unpopular.
No, that is, I don't care about unpopularity. Our job is to popularize, not to complain about the unpopularity. They have no choice.
But you should be concerned that the concept is
against
everything.
We will bomb all obstacles. Sorry for the language, but that is the truth. Every new revelation has a resistance, but after a while, it will become inevitable. People must prosper. We must take advantage of numbers in all the divides.
Okay.
Because the focus has been government. Government will encourage the big boys to open big refinery. Government will not encourage, wait now, I didn't mention any name. Government will not encourage.
How many big boys in Nigeria have refineries? You didn't mention any name. But
I didn't mention. But government will not encourage micro refineries.
But the government has had several initiatives and programs that is supposed to encourage.
Have you asked yourself what killed them?
Maybe people like you who want the buy Naija so bad.
They were killed by the big boys. Take it to the bank. Until we realize that the driving of the economy is the small boys, the youths, the innovative youths. Now, have you noticed that the things that have given Nigeria prominence are not those things that are subsidized? They are entertainment, the creative capacity of the Nigerian youth unleashed. They are making it. The Davidos of this world, the Ashakes of this world, they are rose in football. They are moving. Until we make the whole economy to be like that, it's not going to work. Stop deceiving yourself. So I say, okay, I'm not going to force anybody to do anything. Let's go to the faith-based initiatives where the ordinary youths, male and female, are, so that their creative enterprise is unleashed.
Okay, you know, last time on the show we talked about getting funds for MSMEs, but today we're talking about drivers of economic development. So let's get to the nitty-gritty of it before we get into the NGOs, because that's another kettle of fish. Now, you recognize that they have the pool of funds. You also recognize the pool of human capital. But the SMEs also face the problem of patronage. That buying Naija, that buying Naija. Yes. While they are preaching for heaven, like we established earlier, how can they preach buy Naija in all of this?
We don't want them to preach buy Naija.
But then how would
they should?
MSMEs
They will now establish structures and systems that will make it sustainable. Why they are preaching whatever they are preaching, and mentioning that there is a system in place to help you. The minister, the preacher, does not need to leave what is preaching. That's the beauty of what we are propagating. It doesn't stop you from your seminars, prosperity preaching, your sermons, your Friday or Sunday sermon. It doesn't stop you. We put a system in place that will prosper your people. So what we are saying is, like in a church, it's the deaconry that does that.
That does what exactly?
that promotes the thing we are talking about for the micro and small enterprises, the system. We'll give you the template and we will offer you consultancy and project management. Continue with whatever you are preaching. We didn't come to replace you. We didn't come to praise you. We came to install a system that integrates your people as a prosperity driving force. And of course, that will translate into more offering, more tithes, more money in the system. Benefits to all stakeholders.
Mutual benefit.
Mutual benefit.
Mutual benefits to all stakeholders concerned.
The tired, retired but not tired elders. All the hidden monies under the bed, you bring it out. You don't need to take it to a place where they will scam you and you will now begin to cry. That's why most times we need to set up framework through which our people are not scammed. There's too much scamography everywhere.
Okay, that's under what I have learned. Scamography. Is it something I should take to the bank or it's...
Take it to the bank. It's scamography. What do you want to come with? Bring 40,000. You will get 400,000. It's scamography now.
It's scamography. I can bet my bottom dollar you just coined that out.
It's scamography.
Okay.
Bring out your billions or millions under the bed. I don't care whether you stole it or not, but invest in enterprise, industry, trade, and investment within your faith. Be the driver and the leader of a manager of the system. That's all we are preaching. We didn't come to take your church members. We are not coming to condemn what you are preaching. I can't affect that. If you say God called you, that's your business. I can't argue with God. If you say this is God, no wahala. But this is our micro, small, and medium enterprise. Patronize them
and invest
in them and make money from them. That's what's your problem? Where you go to hell or heaven, that is for the owner. But for here, let us check the bottom line. What are the indicators? Okay, we'll increase your trade by 40%, your industry by 60%. We increase your investment, returns, ROI, returns on investment by 50%. Okay.
Okay, people are listening to you right now and they are wondering, this is a good initiative. Some of them are wondering, this is a good initiative. How can I get my faith-based leader or church leader or mosque leader to align with...
You release contacts to them for further interrogation of how these can blend into their system. So I cannot be telling them, I've released what is doable. They are supposed to reach out to the next level and find out, how do I key into this or interrogate this? It's a simple matter.
Okay, it's time for a break now.
Good.
Believe it or not, we've gone half hour into the Buy Naija time. We'll go for a short break now and return. Remember, we're discussing faith-based organizations and non-governmental organizations as key drivers of economic development through their local micro, small, and medium enterprises. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is still Buy Naija with Joy Asonye, and the conversation has been very interesting, so I hope you're not just joining us, but if you are, we still have so much more. We have Apostle Williams Iheanacho Otabil right here with us. He's the chairman Buy Naija project, and we've been discussing so much about the faith-based organizations and how they can be key drivers of economic development through their local micro, small, and medium enterprises. Now let's take this conversation to the non-governmental organizations. Would address the issue of how people can reach you towards the end of this conversation. But the NGOs in Nigeria do not have these numbers that the faith-based organizations often have. And in their initiatives and in their empowerment programs, very often you see them giving out food items. We don't see sustainable initiatives like what you're proposing. Is this something that is doable in Nigeria?
It is very doable because most of the problems that NGOs who are affiliated to international funding agencies, international development agencies are aligned to is the issue of, number one, credibility, number two, sustainability. The people we are funding, is it sustainable? Is it trackable? Can we track them? Is the money going to that which it is meant for? So, under our template, all those things, sustainability, issue of credibility, they are all taken care of. And what the services and products they are supplying, are they quality?
Standard.
Yes, are they standard? So Buy Naija provides standard assurance, sustainability, credibility, trackability, can be tracked, and it's scalable from the micro level to the medium level.
Okay.
There is a growth path that the template supplies, and we are conscious of all the necessary shall we say, all the necessary standards that you want to measure any international funding point. So we can provide that. We provide that interface to assure not only quality, scalability, we assure credibility, we assure all the things that international funding agencies require, and we want to mobilize potential local funding agencies. You know, one of the problems that this country has had, we are always looking at foreign donors, foreign investments. But there are, all the money that is coming from abroad was taken there from here.
All the money is coming from abroad as FDIs, as a
most of them came from here.
I don't understand how foreign direct
investment. No, I can't tell you all the details, but I know places that developed because Nigerians invested there.
Why are Nigerians investing anywhere?
They invest abroad, and that money that comes in as foreign investment is money they took there. But you see it every day. Somebody moved $400 million. Abi, where you go?
Somewhere abroad.
Good. $400 million foreign investment came in. Where did the money come from?
Nigeria.
It came from Congo, but most of all from Nigeria. So what are you talking about? How do they say it in a...
What I talk about?
So don't tell me somebody has more than 40 houses abroad, seized. With those 40 houses, somebody can raise over $400 million to bring as foreign investment here. So I said, listen, have you talked about local investment drive? Most of your foreign investment, when you carry the money, go there, go keep them because you be thief. We know, we read it in the paper. No be make talk am. Are you not aware that that money came from local? And by the time 400 million is abroad, at least there's a balance of $200 million here. Can't we invest it locally? I don't care where you got your money. I'm not EFCC. But for goodness sake,
invest locally. But what's the problem with investing locally? Do we have clusters of entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs?
Yeah, that is why I'm tying patronage, faith-based initiative that will wholly, can I use the word? That will holify the investment, but let it be here.
Apostle, for an apostle.
He's holy. No, don't deceive yourself. Right. Whether I say it or not, it is better for Nigeria that a man who stole equivalent of $1 billion invests in Nigeria than he keeps it abroad. Invest it here, make we sort ourselves out. If a woman steals, forgive me, steals from the husband, he grazes the husband's pocket, and she's putting it in a colo.
Okay.
When it is time to pay rent or school fees, madam say this money, cooperative money. And bring it out to solve the problem. It's better that she use it to go and build a house. Then when landlord throw you out, you now go and be a tenant in that house, and the woman takes the money to take care of her boyfriend or her brothers.
Right.
It is better.
Fantastic analogy. I hope
yes.
I hope my viewers understand where you're going with this.
They know where I'm going to. It is better for a wife to steal the husband's money to solve family problem than to take it outside.
Right.
Let them take their money. I'm not
or the other way around. Or
husband
stealing from the wife.
You want to be a gender-friendly person. I'm talking as a Naija man. It is better if my wife, let me personalize it, takes my money and brings the money to solve our family problem than to externalize the storage and the usage of that money. I think it's a better thing. Have you heard that an American stole American money and brought it to Africa? It comes in a foreign investment.
Okay.
And they exploit
so
you.
Is it a mentality issue? Because
it is a mentality issue.
Investments abroad.
I'm talking about convergence of our money. Let Christians, the money you take, put it inside. The Muslim, the money you take, put it inside your congregation. Let the young ones grow.
Right.
I'm not EFCC. Let EFCC catch the thief. But for me, all money, make it converge, make it there, no leakage. I just use husband and wife matter. All the little money you take from the man's pocket when he comes back tired, converge it into when they want to pay the children's school fees. Call it any name. Na cooperative money, na meeting money.
Right.
But the problem has been what?
Problem has been solved. But madam, in this your analogy, might be afraid that the monies will not return after she has solved this family.
Don't worry, but she stole it in the first place. she stole it in the first place. She returned it to the central bank, and we are now spending.
Could it be the reason why we are not seeing this investment back home? Because very often back home, we have this mentality.
It is a change of mindset. If you have taken public funds, return it to the youthful public.
Now, if you have plans of returning it, you won't take it in the first place.
No, that is not true. If a man has stolen the Commonwealth and returns it to the Commonwealth, to MSMEs, his sins are forgiven.
Okay, so that doesn't seem like here we are promoting.
We are not promoting it.
This.
But the point is that the man that goes to keeps his money outside, how will you know?
To whom it may concern, we do not promote any sort of.
We are not promoting it.
Any sort of.
But don't even thief
in the first place.
But if for any reason you steal, please.
Otabil.
No, I'm not you.
It doesn't have to be stolen money. It can be legitimately.
Okay, we assume it is legitimate until EFCC says it is illegitimate. I'm just assuming.
Right.
I don't care whether it is legitimate money. It is not my job.
It's not.
It's not your job to determine that which is legitimate money. Just bring the money. Don't take it out. Give it to the youths and the elders in Nigeria.
Okay.
In Uganda.
Right.
Don't take it out.
Okay.
Let it be trapped in the system.
With the structure of the micro, small, and medium enterprises in Nigeria, which is largely informal, how can you expect legitimate investors, of course, to know they can get their monies back? It's not a very structured, in my opinion, a very structured sector.
That is why I'm saying that the easiest way to structure an assurance platform for these people, we are not judging anybody, is to pass through the faith-based organizations that will not give them assurance. Deacon so, Alhaji so, bring in your money here. We are here in all holiness to make sure your investment will yield returns. And these are the structures we have put in place. To catch the thief is for EFCC. But to invest the money, holy or unholy, belongs, the holiness and unholiness belongs to God. Me, my work and Buy Naija is to give you the template to make sure that this money, I have no template to determine
how you got it.
How you got it. It's like a man selling crayfish. How would they come and buy crayfish? I will not know that the person who came to buy crayfish is an armed robber.
You wouldn't know.
I won't know. Or the woman stole the money from a man. I won't know. But
we're encouraging legitimate investors.
We are encouraging everything legitimate. But what I'm saying is our focus
is getting this investment.
Is to make sure investment is sucked in to micro and small enterprises through a veritable and holy template by faith-based organizations and our focus, the NGOs. Okay, the NGO that is giving you money, do you know whether they are drug pushers? You don't know. You have NGO telling you they want to give you money. Wait. Do you know them?
We believe that.
How many you believe? Now by faith.
I think they're instruments of government that vet these NGOs sometimes.
Don't worry. The instrument of government that is vetting, are they holy men?
They should be if they are vetting others.
They are supposed to be. Now by faith that this man in government is holy.
So these NGOs, however it is, they should just ensure they are investing in Nigerians.
That's right. So it is not our job to determine whether the funding agency, so long as they are legitimized, they are confirmed by their home government. We don't know who they are.
But in spite of the contributions from the SMEs, we've also not seen it as a dire matter for us to see more NGOs come into this space. Why is it that?
They are there, but you are not aware.
Why is it?
There are so many development agencies pumping into money. It doesn't trickle down.
It doesn't trickle down to the SMEs.
And there is not a good structure to make it reach the people who are targeted. That's why so many people, I'm aware of a particular faith-based initiative that brought in, sent in money post-COVID, and the money went back.
They were not utilized?
They were frustrated.
Wow.
Through a particular faith-based organization. There are so many hanging. As me and you speak, I told you something last week. Because of the peculiarity of our environment, the money never reached.
I read a report some time ago that even the grants available to Africans,
yes,
about 70% of them are not assessed.
They are not assessed. That's what I'm telling you. So I'm looking at even the faith-based organization I'm talking. Many of them depend on foreign grants. They can't reach you.
Because of the criteria? Are there so
not
stringent?
Criteria. There are bottlenecks engineered by some forces that makes them not to reach. That's what I'm saying. When I'm talking about faith-based organization and merging them with structures inside the organization, I talked about the bureaucratic people. When you merge them with the management and the project advisory board, it's the same and the same people. Oh boy, let me tell you, if the GO releases, or the head of the organization, the chief imam or whatever, releases, you know what Yoruba people call it? Course.
No.
On those people, okay. If you don't, you are working somewhere, they don't release money for us. Everybody pray. And they will say, no, God, don't pray the prayer. The money will come out with it. On a lighter note.
Right.
They are there. Because now focus.
And that influence still holds water?
It holds. If you gather people who come to receive blessing, and you tell them and say, there is a blessing that is being held up. The man will hear. And they release, when I say ekpe na cause in Yoruba language. I don't know whatever, but I'm being a practicable person. They will listen. People listen to their spiritual head more than what government says. Is the truth?
Probably, but I'm not seeing any reputable faith-based organization.
Because they don't have focus. They have not focused on this.
As a means of leverage.
But they will tell you that if you don't give what you're supposed to give, there's a way. So if you don't, you have to now, what we are doing.
We need to be more practical. I mean, is
wait, if we
but
focus,
it's not leverage.
Wait, if we focus on patronage and funding for the micro and small enterprise in their organization, and the EPE is directed to that, money will come out.
Okay, I really
patronage will come out.
Apostle, I don't want to explore this trend of conversation,
but you have to.
We actually running out of time. I would just like to ask, apart from your love for micro and small enterprises and the love for Nigerian youth and your passion to see that the
up to releasing of EPE. I better go. If I make my passion, don't kill me.
No, it's not. I'm hoping it doesn't. So apart from all of these good things and your passion for Nigeria's economy, what would be in it for Buy Naija when you give out these templates? How would you sustain Buy Naija to ensure that others get these templates as well?
We are talking about Buy Naija will provide project management, consultancy. Nothing is free.
Of course.
Not even in Freetown. It costs us money to even be in this studio. You know that?
I know.
Good. Every laborer deserves his wages. But we are more interested in the result than in the benefits. First, but if everybody is prospering and your bottom line, your sales has increased because of patronage, you have more funding because of patronage, you have more industrial output because of patronage, there is more investment because of funding. Abba,
you should give Buy Naija something. No need
I'm not begging you.
No need for a pay.
Yeah, no for a pay. You pay.
No need for a pay.
We have a MOU with you.
Right.
As you prosper, we prosper. We expand together. We are not exploiting you. We are adding value. And there are so many consultants that will come to the template. Accountants, soil scientists, ICT people who will be members of the project management team.
Just to ensure you grow.
We cannot manage 30 companies in one denomination without having chartered accountants,
of course,
surveyors, architects. Terms and conditions apply. We only have an effective and efficient template we are managing, and terms and conditions apply. Everybody is happy and they will live happily ever after.
When you say terms and conditions apply, for somebody might be afraid now, but let's not go
afraid there. What? There is nothing free in Freetown.
Right.
Oh, will I not drive motor to your denomination?
I tire.
Will I not carry men? But we are adding value.
Okay.
And we take a percentage of your generated value.
Are you willing to share how much percentage it will be?
No, I can't.
There's no cut.
I cannot do that. When they come closer, everybody knows the prevailing costs, the pricing of intellectual property, spiritual property, any other property you are talking about.
Okay.
Everybody, you cannot go to...
price tag on it.
There's a price for everything.
Right.
That's a price.
So based on negotiations?
Yes. Based on negotiations, fairness and everything, there is nothing free.
Well,
when you want to marry your wife, don't you pay bride price?
I've never married a wife.
Okay, I'm a man, I'm telling you. Me pay bride price.
Okay. Apostle Otabil, before I let you go, I'm sure some daddy GOs, or I'm not sure how it's called, GOs or daddies, and imams are listening to you right now. And I probably want to key in. How can they quickly reach out to you? They
should reach out to us for now on buynaija.com.
Okay.
We have a project number. Is there? I don't know if you are permitted.
Subsequently, we would have that project number.
We will have everything explained, but let them have full understanding. But they can call KAFTAN TV and Joy Asonye program.
Okay.
You will now guide them if they seek further information. If I say I'm an architect, a designer, are you seen my advert? You call.
Of course.
Then we will now elaborate on more.
Okay, that has been Chairman Buy Naija Project, Apostle William Iheanacho Otabil. We've been discussing faith-based organizations and non-governmental organizations as key drivers of economic development through their local, micro, small, and medium enterprises. Thank you so much for being part of the program. My name is Joy Asonye, and have a wonderful weekend.